York since you both are in there?
Doesn't matter to me, obviously.
Well, I think we should be uniform, right? By the way, let's do New York. You guys are in New York, right?
Sure. We are in New York.
Or do you want to do PA?
Just do New York.
Hey, welcome in. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. Maybe today's your Monday. I don't know. Maybe it's Saturday, wherever you're watching this show. So I'm not going to just take one portion of the community and highlight them. Wherever you are, whatever day it is that you're watching, thanks for hanging with us here on the Odd Shop. That's Ben Rasa. I'm Eytan Shander. That's Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid behind me. I had a fantastic pre-meal lunch/dinner, linner, if you will, Ben. Chris is producing. We ask you to hit the thumbs up, subscribe. We have a bunch of shit to tell you. But you're a man of good cuisine, yes, on top of having a sharp mind when it comes to betting. Do you know one of the best go-to, it's elevated, it's not a snack, but it's not a meal, would be peanut butter and black coffee?
I don't drink coffee. I like peanut butter, though. That's it? That's what you had for dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
Again, it's not a meal like brunch isn't a meal. This is I've got this show. I've got another show. You know, I've got stuff here. I'm like George Costanza's mother. You can't make me sweat. All right. I've got another show I have to do after this. She can't cry. I can't sweat. All right. So I don't want you working me up today on any crazy shit that you have buried in this show.
I mean, we're going to talk about a lot. We're going to get to all these picks. We're going to talk a little college basketball as well. But I do want to just throw a couple things out there. One, how could it possibly, even our friend in Melbourne, it's not Monday. How'd you skip 3 days? What did you mean by that?
Saturday here in Melbourne.
Yeah, that would make sense. It's not Monday anywhere.
Who said it was Monday?
You check
me?
the tape. Yeah, you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't look, honestly, right. As soon as Chris says I'm bringing you on, I don't remember anything that I say. It's a
shout out,
blackout.
I want to give a shout out to all our friends, including Kevin in Massachusetts. On the board, the lights are on. Couldn't be more excited. I went to college in Massachusetts. It's a great state. A ton of people I know are super excited. And I will just say right off the bat, if I can steal some of your thunder, I want to be the one who tells them all the deals that you need to know are in the link in the description of this video, because Massachusetts right now, if I could be in one state, it would be there to take advantage of all the free money that is up for grabs now.
We just did a video. I don't know. Is that up yet, Chris? Probably not. But maybe it is. I'm not sure. But Chris and I just did a video with the top 4 book offers, the top 4 sports book offers in Massachusetts. So we're going to have that up here if it's not already on the OddsShopper channel. What we do here today is very simple, right? If you're new to the show, if you just popped in, if you're like, hey, oh, it is up. Okay, thank you, Chris. If you just popped in, you're like, all right, what's this all about right now? Yeah, that's what I meant, by the way. Thank you. Mizzy T. Shizzy. Exactly right. Today is like my Tuesday when you think of a typical Monday. So that's what I meant. And again, I thank you. Thank you. I don't have any people that have my back. Thank you. Both of these guys and Ben and Chris will pile on if given the chance. So I need all the help I can. Sorry.
No problem. I stand corrected. Talk about what we got going on here, because we got all sorts of things to get to. You are the driver of this ship. I'm just along for the ride. Where are we going today?
Well, we have to look back at the community parlay. We have to build our own community parlay. We're going to bounce around the tool, which is the OddsShopper premium tool that beats the market. It is a market-based approach. We have an algorithm here that is attacking all of the books and finding wiggle room to broken lines and anything in between for you, playable plus EV. And we're going to bounce around PrizePicks, no house advantage. So we have a lot to get to. Now, that's the structured stuff. So who knows how far off the rails this show may go here, but we appreciate any and all questions, right? Maxi points, right, on PrizePicks. So we'll talk about that. Speaking of which, the Sixers do play tonight. So I have a kind of off the board same game parlay that I'll get to in about 25 minutes. All right.
It's fair enough. I was on the show with Lofty yesterday. So if you want to talk about the community parlay, Lofty, I believe, got his leg correct, I want to say.
Nice.
It was Sabonis. I pushed on Arkansas. There it is. Yeah, Sabonis, which was the best bet on the board. The tool identified that for us. We put that on the board. Arkansas was a push, even though on this very channel, I gave it out at 1.5 early in the day. It did go to 3 and we pushed. The community, unfortunately, could not get us across the board. The Warriors. We got another poll coming today, but the Warriors did not get it done. The community, no dice.
Well, look, the community, short memory. We won't let this linger here. The push stands out, no loss there. The win stands out. That's great for Lofty, but we'll keep this thing moving. All right. Now we have our own, and we need to give the community, we need to give the people the options. It's an Underdog Friday, so we'll throw out the 4 big dogs that you have available, 3 of which are similar as far as their odds are concerned, and then the Portland Trailblazers, which are the longer shot, clearly, of the 4. So we'll put that up there. You have any questions about plays, any leans, anything you're looking at right now as far as individuals? We're definitely going to go to the board. But before that, we have some news to know. And number one, on top of all of this, right, is what Dr. DFS has asked us in the chat. The biggest news of the day is John Rahm withdrawing after day 1 at the Players, especially since I had him in a 3-ball.
Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, you could void that. He's sick. Got something wrong with the stomach, apparently. The Players is an abject disaster. Talked about that a lot over on OddsShopper Golf. We've got that, of course, right on the screen. The Durant, where were you? I feel like I'm in one of those shows. Like, where were you when Durant slipped and somehow hurt himself for like a month?
I wasn't watching right away because it was right at the time in which I had to put my kid down, right? So I missed, and I figured, all right, well, I'm going to miss the opening part of it and all that. I'll catch it second quarter, what have you. I missed that part. But look, when I watched it again, I don't think that this was just a slip. Like, it looked like somebody who was injured that hurt himself, if that made sense. Like, this was a damaged vessel that hurt himself. This wasn't like the cat in Friday who slipped on a little bit of water and was like, I'm suing you for $100,000. Ezel, remember him?
Never saw that movie.
Oh man.
I know. It's a leak in my movie Rolodex. I'm sorry.
Anyway, point being is I caught it late, and when I caught it, it looks a little fishy.
I was on the golf show. And chat was like, oh my God, Durant fell. All right. Now come on now. Are you reading chat? That's it. If I've ever heard a testimonial, Will Wolf. Come on now.
Yeah, we need that. Like Nathan Joyce, somebody needs to clip that.
I'm going to tattoo that memento style right on my body.
Absolutely. That is just amazing. Yeah.
I need a new laptop. So
it's some envelopes. Oh my God. I'm telling you, man, I think Durant was out for a little lawsuit action there. I don't know. It was something. Simons is questionable. Garland missed the shootout around. I don't know if he's going to play tonight. His props were down last I checked. And then you have Cam Johnson and Nick Claxton expected back. So look, outside of Durant, who's out for a couple of weeks now, I don't think anything drastic has influenced your card tonight, right? So we can move into it.
No. And as we always talk about, if it's news that's not breaking, the books have budgeted for it. It's all baked in, and the market-based approach is gonna still give us that value. So I think it's time to dive in if you're ready.
Let's look at this. Now, we're going to give you a week free of the OddsShopper premium tool. There's a link below. So if you want to sign up, I mean, it's 4:09 Eastern right now. We're going to be on for the next 41 minutes, right? 51 minutes. Sorry, not to shorten you 10 minutes here, Ben. You could sign up in the next, 90 seconds, have your 7-day risk-free trial, and then follow along with us as we go through the tool. So even if you're brand new to the tool, you're brand new to a market-based approach, you can sign up. You can get that 7-day risk-free trial, and you can follow along with us as we explain through it, because trust me, there's going to be a lot of shit that we're going to have to talk about and explain through. Most of it is going to be Ben explaining it to me. So let us look. Now, I'm in New York here, where you two are.
That's right.
And you can bet college props, player props?
No, they're listed, but no.
They are listed. Okay. Now we have a futures play that's up there, the Colorado Avalanche to win the Central Division. But the big one from the NBA that seems to be popping right here is, and let me just resort. Looks to be, yeah, because I'm going to move past the college guys.
Okay.
NBA looks to be Damian Lillard. We've got a 5% XROI to go over 32.5 points, 56% X win at minus 115 on PointsBet. Looks to be the number one right now NBA play that we have on the board.
Yeah, and it's right in, right in your backyard, a little Sixers action, and you dive in. I always think when you sign up for the tool, first thing I love to do is really say, okay, why is this a value on a market-based approach? Well, over 32.5 at minus 115. Looking at all the other books, DraftKings, minus 140. Caesars, minus 140. All the other books, they already moved to 33.5. So this is clearly a book that is lagging behind. All the other books are in unison that this price is too cheap. Pretty easy add to the card, and you get to root for Lillard. That's a nice supplementary benefit.
Yeah, look, man, the matchup is definitely there. Sixers struggle and whatnot with the ISO and the ability to create and all. But you're getting this on the market, which is what the tool is doing for you is creating that, or trying to identify, I should say, a little bit of width here. And it's 32.5 minus 115. Everywhere else, if you look at the other books, and you scroll down here, there's a break. There's a difference. The only other book that has 32.5 is DraftKings, and that's at minus 140. So right away, you're getting 25 points difference on PointsBet. Every other book is over 33.5. It doesn't matter if it's minus 110, minus 105, minus 122 at over 33. The best look right now at Damian Lillard's points is over 32.5 minus 115. That appears to be beating the market.
Oh, it absolutely is. And that's why it comes right at the top of the tool right now. And there's so many different tools within OddsShopper Premium, but to me, this is my favorite one that we're on, which is just showing you a list. And you mentioned you're not talking about college props, but man, Colby Jones, he's jumping off the page.
Look at that.
Xavier, he was unbelievable last night. They almost lost to DePaul. Not to take the show right off the rails, but Xavier and DePaul were in a straight battle last night.
Yeah. If you can bet that, the problem though is that it's showing up in New York. So you would search your state and hopefully that there is that same level of discrepancy with Colby Jones elsewhere. Like if you lived in New Jersey, right? I know Greg has been popping up on Twitter all the time, posting the gaps that he's been able to find with our OddsShopper Premium tool on the college basketball streets at FanDuel specifically. So I imagine that if you live in New Jersey, for example, where you can bet college basketball props, this Colby Jones prop's going to be there. It's going to be there in some form of fashion where you can take advantage of it. I just want to get to two quick other ones here that are also at 5% of an XROY. One, and this is interesting how we have this laid out, right? We're always looking at the majority of those that have the positive XROY, right? And identifying, if we can, something that's hitting. We have the Oladipo that's at 47%. The only other book that we have listed here is DraftKings, but it's still at BetMGM beating DK by 10 points. It doesn't have a win percentage over 50%, Ben, but it's still pretty great with that ROI at 5% for Oladipo's threes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And again, it doesn't have an X win over 50% because you're getting plus 125 on the bet. So every time you win it, you don't get paid out 1-to-1, you get paid out 1.25 to 1. And that's where you still have some value. So yes, it's a pseudo coin flip, one that's slanted in the wrong direction, but the plus money is what takes it over the top with a guy like Oladipo. He actually appears on a couple different ones I'm looking at. You see his 3-pointers over. His assists are also over at 3% ROI. So you have some options if you do like Oladipo, and that Cavs game in general tonight with Donovan Mitchell. There's a lot of props from that game that appear.
One more just to look at. I see a couple of questions popping up. Jokic over 22.5, AD over 13.5 rebounds. We'll get to yours, but just to see the last one there that's at 5% right now, Donovan Mitchell, the assist prop under 5.5 at FanDuel. And again, even at PointsBet, where it's just beating it by 1 point, other books have a wider gap. So how I would understand it is, yeah, you only have 1 point difference between FanDuel at -114 and PointsBet at -115. But if you look at the gap with those two books and the rest of the market, both of those bets are good bets.
Absolutely, they're good bets. And that's where you have a lot of different options with it. Sometimes that's what I actually do when I bring up this tool is I search for a player and then I kind of see within that, the different options. Sometimes you've got a guy with 2 or 3 props that are all positive and you can pick your favorite one. So I know the Lillard one jumps right out, and some of these other guys along the top seemingly make for really good values at given books, given the missed prices.
I love looking at questions that people have because we all do it, right? Like we all have this idea of where we want to go. Oh, this guy's going to smash, or this guy's, short him, fade him. And then you look at the tool, the market-based approach, and Jokic right now actually pops. I have Jokic over 22.5 points with a 2% XROI on BetMGM. So for Kyle Harler asking about Jokic over 22.5 points, we have that as a plus EV bet. Go ahead, bet that right now on BetMGM. We took you behind the curtain on this paid tool and gave you that free bet, Kyle. You better sign up for the 7-day risk-free trial after that one.
But just to add that context, because it absolutely grades out as positive, and you said it, on BetMGM. If you bet that bet on a site that doesn't have the right line, you're going to take your 2% ROI and drag it into the negatives potentially. So that's always where the value of the tool comes in, is finding the right bet with the right line, locking that value in, and then hopefully watching your money come back with interest.
All right. I saw another one too. Anthony Davis rebounds. Now, I hope the market reflects something here because AD is part of my community parlay leg. Uh-oh. The market right now. Now, here's the thing. And I wanted to clarify this, right? Because as of now, everything we have for AD that's rated is negative ROI. So it's a negative EV. That's right now. That's 4:17 p.m. The market telling us this right now. Things change. Things fluctuate, right? That's why this updates every, 3-4 seconds. So you may find something a little bit later as we get closer to tip where the market adjusts or the market's been influenced or simply a book makes a mistake.
Yep.
So all of a sudden you get market movement. So that's the beauty of this tool where you can come back to it. It doesn't mean that the question we had from Kyle about AD's over 13.5 rebounds is it's a bad bet. It just means right now you're not getting any break. Right now, the market isn't finding any break, and it's a losing bet over time simply because it's just there and there's no real break or discrepancy in the market.
Correct. Just like the under his rebounds. Both sides of the bet right now, because there's no discrepancy in the market, would probably have you bleed out a couple percent ROI. Things can change. You may have something in your data that says this is a smash, and that would change things. Obviously, that's always where you're taking some of your own options. Now, if you stick strictly to a market-based approach, you would not do that, but there's a million different ways to do it. And we're here to present that. What do you make? Can I ask you one more before we get, I know parlays are coming. We got more questions coming.
We got to hit college basketball too. We got
to hit college basketball.
Oh yeah.
What did you make of the Jaden McDaniels one? Because he's another guy up there that does grade out pretty highly. Not a prominent player like Lillard or some of these other guys, but his under 1.5 3-pointers on DraftKings. You're laying a lot of juice at -150. But when you look at that number across the industry, 160. Caesars is at 180. I mean, -150 on DraftKings for Jaden McDaniels under on threes does seem like a decent add to the card.
I agree. I think if you look at just the market discrepancy here, you're getting a break. So if you closed your eyes and threw a dart at the wall, you're landing at least in the scoring area because you're getting a break with the market. So I think that's where the edge is clearly, as you laid out, the -150. When you look at, Caesars, that's astronomical. But even PointsBet, you're getting a little break. We mentioned FanDuel, that 1 point there. So you're getting a break, 5 points, 6 points, that you're getting. I like it. I think it makes sense from the game, but also it doesn't. And I know people don't like to hear this, but it doesn't have to make sense for me because right now, somebody at DraftKings has failed to update that play. So right now, the algorithm has said, you know what? DraftKings should probably have this at 155, 160, but it doesn't. So, hey, jump in before it changes. That's essential. Now, again, the fact that it makes sense, the fact that from a game flow standpoint, the fact that it's going to be a smaller market player prop tonight, which helps us, which probably factors into maybe the slow movement, what have you. I think I like it. It's a 4% XROI. It's got a 63% hit at that minus 150. I'm fine with that. We don't even have an astronomical 6.2, 6.5 hold either. So chalk that up.
No, again, it's just one I wanted to point out. Again, I have some interest there. That's all.
All right, my friend. I know you have interest in college basketball. We're going to get to that. We have a couple of promos that we need to hit. We have a same game parlay to build on DraftKings, $10.
That's all you
have. I mean, technically, I've done that. If you want to just look at what I've put together for the Sixers, we can do that. We have Flex Friday on PrizePicks, FanDuel here, the 25% profit boost on college basketball. I'll bury the lead. I'm already in. So your game hasn't started yet. My profit boost that I gave out on the Discord, shout out to the news god and anybody else who's tailing and currently sweating right now. Our profit boost was under 67.5 first half points for the Temple Cincinnati game.
And it's on right now?
It is on right now. The game started around 3:40 or so. Okay. It is on right now. All right. I also have a plus 700 live ticket on Bez to lead round 2. I didn't even do that. I didn't even bring this out of respect to you, Ben Rasa. I didn't even bring this up because I knew it would derail the show right away. A, that I'm actually sweating a live golf ticket, as shocked as you would be for that. And B, that it's your guy, Bez. So I didn't even bring that up at the start.
Yeah, well, I got real bad news for you.
Wait a second.
I also need Bez. And
oh shit.
That Bez would be in a week of straight destruction on the course. Bez doing something would be really useful. So I'm rooting for you.
That's all we need is this dude to hold on right now. He's on the back end.
I need him to hold on I need him to be hoisting a trophy.
I just need him to win the round. All right. That's it. All right, let's look at this. Massachusetts is live. I told you, Ben told you, we have a video up. We have all the links below, so you can go ahead and go through this, or you can check me out. Chris did the hard work for us. We gave you our top 4 sportsbook offers. It's all there. NBA, we'll get to that in a second if we can, Chris. Can we just flip-flop? Because I know Ben wants to talk about Indiana. I'm sweating out this Temple thing. Go ahead. This is where everybody, you should put your 25% profit boost tail bet.
Well, yeah, my game hasn't started. I'm sure you'll have more later, but I do a video every day on this channel. You can always check it out in the morning.
56 points with 2:07 to go, Ben.
Well, how many?
56.
With 2. And what do you need to stay under?
67.5.
So 11 points with 2 minutes. You should be fine. It's not bad.
Famous last words.
Famous last words. I like Indiana tonight. Give me the Hoosiers. You can find 1.5 on FanDuel at minus 115. It's been bouncing around a little. Pretty simple for me. I'm not going to go into a whole monologue. I'll just say this. Maryland is just not the same team away from home. Yep. We've seen it all year. They're unbeatable in College Park, and they're beatable everywhere else. They beat Indiana in College Park. Hood Schifino, one of Indiana's best players, was 1 of 14 in that game. Indiana won the rebounding edge. Maryland only had 5 turnovers in that game. Trace, Jackson Davis, and Hood Schifino will be the best players on the court tonight. Indiana was resting. Besides Minnesota, Maryland's done nothing away from home. I think Indiana will show that they're just a better team in a very competitive game, but I like the Hoosiers tonight to cover that number.
Nice. Absolutely, man.
Come on in.
Reason not to tail. And it's boosted. Look at that. So you get to boost the minus 115, and that's going to slide over to plus money. So you're in great shape with that. That's the college basketball boost. Take advantage of that on FanDuel. DraftKings. Now, I sent one over to Chris, the 5-leg same game parlay. It has to be 3-leg plus. And I figured, all right, well, if it's 3+ legs, then you might as well make this thing worth your while, right? Like you might as well build this to a plus 2,000 or something like it's $10. You might as well get something out of it, right?
Absolutely. This is, like I said, this is the people. I know why they come to this show. Let's not get crazy. I like to talk about market betting. They come for your Sixers same game parlays.
Right.
Hit the people with it.
All right, here we go. I want to start with Damian Lillard. We talked about his points. The market loves going over his points. It correlates with him knocking down threes. He should have a field day against the Sixers perimeter defense, especially with him being able to create his own shot. That's just a problem for the Philadelphia 76ers. On the flip side, Tyrese Maxey, the confidence is back, all right? Doc Rivers can only do so much to ruin a young man's progress and growth. Tyrese Maxey rose through the concrete that Doc tried to lay as a ceiling of cement on Maxey's career. And look at him. He's thriving right now with Harden and Embiid both healthy on the floor. I'll take him 3+. I think there's a good angle for Embiid to get 10 rebounds. You look at where he is at 10.5 as far as the over-under is concerned. I'm looking at it at -150. I'm not eating a ton of chalk to add to this parlay by getting him to 10 rebounds, which would be a standard double-double as we expect. Somewhat correlated with the 3+ threes, although not totally, because I'm going over 20.5 points for Maxey, but I'm still getting there. 21 points for a guy who should be able to score a lot of points tonight against Portland. And last, I know we've got offense here, 5+ threes, 3+. It doesn't mean it's going to be a 250 total here. I think this game can still get individual efforts, but stay under 233.5 because of the lack of effort or scoring from the benches. And that ultimately, I think, will keep this game under. You're going to get some scoring spurts, don't get me wrong, but I think this game stays under 233.5, which helps boost this, but it's not under, 218. It's not under an unrealistic number for me. It stays at 233.5 under, and that's +2,000 for you, Ben Rasa.
+2,000. That's little 20-1 action never hurt anyone. If you cash that, there'll be a big celebration on Monday on this very show.
You sure? Is it you and I?
I don't know. Listen, March Madness starts. You may never see me again.
That's true.
But I think I will be on the show on Monday. We'll see.
Okay.
I'll tell you this much. If Bez wins the golf, I won't be on any shows because I'll be on an island.
37-27 at the half.
37-27.
64?
Yeah, that's close.
Passion. Woo! Where's the
game.
news god? Somebody let the news god know. He's out there breaking information, all right? They call me the boost god now on
dear God.
Discord because I've hit like 7 of 8. Here we go. No. Any other promos we have to hit?
Don't think so.
Or should I? You should be asking me that.
Yeah, I should be asking you that. You're on top of these things. I think we're pretty good, though. Again, you want to take advantage when they're giving you these rebates, when they're giving you these, especially a boost that's going to take something from, it's not a static boost. Like where they're moving the line for you, that's absolutely gold.
Hey, look, I'm sorry, Ben. I just wanted to jump in and let people know that we have the underdog poll up there. So make sure you keep jumping in. If you haven't already, you vote on our poll. Blazers not getting a ton of love. It's down to the Lakers and Cavs right now as far as money line. We'll let you know our legs and all that, right? What a sweat. See, the news god is in the house.
Yeah, I told you. He's here.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Boost god, news god. That sounds like a show. Couple of gods hanging out. That's all I'm saying.
And then I'm just around.
Well, yeah. I mean, you would be involved. You absolutely. Okay. You'd be eating your peanut butter and coffee. How do you not drink coffee? You don't like caffeine at all?
No.
Okay.
No. When you do a lot of cocaine, you don't need caffeine,
It was either going to be hard drugs or simply your hatred for your fellow man fueling you every day.
Yeah, it's one or the other, I'll tell you. Probably the latter though. No caffeine for me.
Okay. Round 2 suspension.
Great. That's all I need.
DFS. Jesus.
Yeah, Bez is playing well. So the gods talk about gods.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. Svensson is up there tied with Bez. I can deal with that. Morikawa comes around hanging, hovering. I get a little nervous. He can out hit Svensson in the next, 3 holes or so. All right. That's it for that's it for what we have as far as the boosts are concerned. The boosts, the advantages that you can take advantage of, the no sweat parlay, what have you. So all of that is in the house. Again, anything you have for us, you have questions you want us to go through, This is a free tool for you. Maybe you have a shots on goal suggestion, right? I know it's an NBA centric show, but we're happy to go through the tool for you. And I am curious to see how much things have changed, right? For example, that Jaden McDaniels. Look at this. The Jaden McDaniels is now under 1.5 minus 145 on PointsBet. It has a higher XROI now at 6% because DraftKings caught up, or pardon me, PointsBet must have dipped.
Yeah, PointsBet dipped. Again, you're going to see constant fluctuation. Books will adjust, other books will adjust, and it'll create openings. That's all the market-based approach is doing. I know we say this and it's repetitive, but it's one of those things. It's like a light switch. You hear it so often and it doesn't make sense. And then one day it kind of clicks and you're like, oh, now I really see what this is. This isn't projecting that he's going to go under 1.5 threes. It's saying that one of the books is not pricing it accurately. And that's all we're saying. Take advantage of the pricing.
By the way, I'm going to have to hit you with an XFL lock of the week.
Oh my God.
I look, the community asked, John Shelton asked in the chat. So just bookmark that in the back of your brain. We're going to hit this before we get out of here. Okay.
That's a very loose term of the word we, but sure.
Hey, let me pull this up here. 9-5-1 so far this year for the YouTube videos, the XFL YouTube videos. All right. That's a profit. I don't care what you're betting. That's profit.
I respect. And shout out El Quattro. I don't have this back tested, but he did say your Sixers same game parlay even a better price over on FanDuel.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. Shout out to El Quattro for doing the shopping on this 5-game same game parlay. That is commitment. Absolutely love that. Kevin Love, by the way, speaking of which, is popping up 4% ROI on his rebounds over 5.5 on PointsBet. That's another one that looks pretty appetizing here.
Yeah. Again, you're going to see some of those opportunities pop up, and we'll see what news rolls in. I believe he's sporting, probable. He's got I just clicked in. It says a rib contusion. So we'll keep an eye. Obviously, the books have priced that, but some may be baking in him being limited. Others may not, and that can create opportunities.
All right. Did you see anything outside of the NBA that you've used the tool to bet today?
So there's definitely, again, the beauty, and at times I guess you could call it a curse, that the tool moves. So like some of the things when I woke up were lines that have been corrected. Now they're gone. Now I've captured some of that value throughout the day, but really when I look, I know you mentioned the NHL a little bit, but I'll stick in basketball constantly. Ones are popping up. Even now I'm looking, and there's a couple Raptors now in positive. Van Vliet, his 3-pointers at under 3.5 has a 2% ROI. Scotty Barnes under 4.5 assists has a 2% ROI at minus 140. So there are ones there, and I know where we're going. So I'm just trying to prep for it. You put a couple of these in some of these parlays in our parlay builder, another tool over on OddsShopper Premium, you might be able to really string together a big payout on one of these sites.
I am curious, by the way, what it looks like on just the regular parlay builder, right? Because we'll have No House Advantage, we'll have PrizePicks, but just looking at the parlay builder, which is pulling again from whatever book you'd like to suggest and go through there. So, for example, I'm in New York right now, and I'm on BetMGM. So that's the book that I'm going to use here for the parlay builder, BetMGM New York. If you're in New York, you have BetMGM, you're in business. Right away, it just gives me one. It gives me a 5-leg parlay. Every single leg here is plus EV because every single leg is positive XROI. And look at this melting pot of play that you have here, man. You got Gobert over. Well, let's run this, okay? Let's run this as the show. I know we have the community parlay, but let's run this as the what?
I don't know. So I'm just a little, I go on here and I'm the Thunderbirds and the Wolverines. Now that's a game.
Absolutely. And now we're going to be fully invested on that one.
As if you weren't fully invested on Southern Utah and Utah Valley. What a rivalry. Come on now.
No, I don't think as much as I will now with
all right
with a leg of the parlay on there.
Yeah,
You want to take the injured guy out of here? Sochan out?
Yeah, I think that's fair. You can either go, obviously, 4 leg, it's still a really nice payout. It's well north of 10-1, or you can find another leg if you want to add someone in. Maybe Jokic over 22.5. We talked about him earlier.
Yeah, 22.5. Shout out to Robert in the chat for tailing that Cincinnati play. Love that. Yeah, I think that works, actually. Let's be greedy. Let's add Jokic. It's got a 2%. Look, the only other thing we could add would be the first quarter plays. Do you like that? You like using the tool here for, you've got a first quarter spread and you've got a first quarter money line. Both have a positive XROI here for the Wizards against the Hawks at home.
Yeah, so I'm fine doing that. Sometimes, and I think this is more, maybe I just have like OCD. If the ROIs are all like flat and there's no real difference, sometimes I group my parlays by sport just because I think it's a little easier. Like I'll do a couple of first quarter lines and an NBA prop or whatnot, and then I'll stick to college basketball. And then sometimes I mix and match. I kind of go for the cycle. So you see the ROIs there and the X wins, they're all relatively stable. So you have a lot of different options. I'll tell you this much. I'm putting the Thunderbirds and the Wolverines total in mind. That is just an awesome game.
Yeah, this has to be. No, so you have to. All right, so what are we adding? What's the final leg? I'm sorry, I missed that. Jokic?
Yeah, Jokic.
All right, Jokic.
If you're good with it, he's behind you. We got to get that synergy.
By the way, oh no, that's the puck line for the Senators. Senators, look at this. I mean, we have some pretty monster ones in here. 8% ROI for the Senators. Yeah, 7% ROI for Gobert. Now you're going to have to bet this for me because this is a New York BetMGM thing. All right.
Oh, I got you covered. And that's just to point it out. I'm glad you said that. You're looking at this and you say, oh man, I don't have BetMGM. You can simply toggle to the book that you have. All these filters are customizable. And again, when you sign up for your free week and you're poking around, it's great to have all the books. But if you only have a couple, you can customize the tool to only give you bets on the sites that you play.
So I just switched over to Pennsylvania, but stayed on BetMGM.
Yep.
And this isn't always the case. That's why Ben laid that out there for you. But I basically have the same parlay. I have the Aggies Broncos total. I have the Senators Canucks total. I have the Thunderbirds Wolverines. I have Gobert, and I just added Jokic in for an injured Sochan. So there you have it. Actually worked out.
So we can sweat it together now.
Who's in on this? We can't be the only. I tried this with Lindquist and it fell flat. All right, because he's got no creativity. This young man here, right? Wow. You and Lofty had these challenges where it was like you were going to be in some box lowered into a pool of sharks like Penn and Teller if this thing hits, right? It's some crazy shit like that. Can we at least do something without stepping on Lofty's toes and create some sort of at-risk scenario if this thing hits?
No, none of that was accurate at all. Lofty just went off the reservation and tweeted that I was going to do all this crazy shit if the no house advantage parlay hit. that was fake news. None of that. I'm not drinking. I was going to say, if this hits, I'll start drinking coffee. No. We're not doing anything. I'll count my money when it hits. Don't put me in shark infested waters. What are you trying to do to me?
Can we have you? What's something that you think you could eat a lot of in a short period of time? Sushi? Like what do you think you could? M&Ms? Like what do you think?
I haven't had an M&M in a long time.
What do you think you could eat an absurd amount of in 60 seconds? Hot dogs?
I'm a pretty tiny person. I could probably eat more than you would think, but no, I'm not going full Kobayashi on the show. I don't think that's in the cards.
Well, I think like you'd have to eat a jar of mayonnaise if this thing hits in 60 seconds.
I don't think you understand how big of chat probably knows how big of a diva I am. I wouldn't eat a jar of mayonnaise to save a family member, probably. Like we're not putting jars of mayonnaise.
Night Shyamalan movie here or something?
Yeah, we're going in the cabin. Well, that's what you want to do. I didn't do this. You're like, hey, this is a great bet. You know what we should do? Let's make it an extremely painful scenario for you.
Well, what do you think would make
Jar
sense?
of mayonnaise? Are you crazy?
Yeah, I hate mayonnaise. Awful. It's the worst thing you can do is put mayonnaise on anything. But with that, so maybe I should jump in on that too. Why don't we do that? We'll each do, well, okay, here's the thing. You know those Hellman's packets? You know those packets you get, which is like the worst type of mayo. It's not mayo that you can put in the fridge. It's the shit that you get with like the vending machine tuna. You know what I mean?
Yes, but maybe my microphone is not working and I'm on mute. I'm not subjecting myself to any of this nonsense. Get at it. You want to eat, first of all, vending machine tuna? Like,
no, I don't want to do this. Like, News God is like, I'm out, Shander. This is it. Like, no, you shouldn't be eating mayo at all. None of you should be eating mayo.
I don't think you understand. And honestly, this is the best. You want a testimonial for why these tools work is watch this segment. The reason I don't want to do this is because these tools actually work. And I'm telling you, you have a decent chance to hit these parlays over time. There are positive ROIs out there. I'm not subjecting myself to Hellman's mayonnaise. Yeah, crazy hot sauce. Oh my God.
Here's what, if this parlay hits, both Ben, Rasa, and I will simultaneously next show eat a hot dog with mayonnaise on it. All right, There you have it. If it hits, maybe we'll even put a slice of cheese on that hot dog before you eat it with mayo. Is that fair?
No, because I won't do it, but we'll be glad to watch you do it, and you'll eat two. Like I said, I guess two can play this game.
Is that a fat joke? I'm at the gym now, man. All right, I'm trying. All right,
you're working on that fitness.
No, I'm just trying to not break a sweat going up the stairs. That's my goal.
I know. I need one of those things where you sit in the chair and it slides you up. You ever see that commercial? I need one of those to get up here.
I love it. By the way, News God, speaking of which, did throw out the Kristaps Porzingis. The plus money is on the over. I was checking the tool here, the OddsShopper premium tool. Unfortunately, it's got a -7 X ROI the last I checked on the market for over. But what I can do is interest you in not one, but 3 positive XROI plays for Kristaps tonight. 2 being under 8.5 rebounds and under 2.5 threes. The other would be over 2.5 assists. So those 3, last I checked the market here, are beating it enough to where those are plus EV. So again, News God and anyone else who comes in like, yo, what about this? What about this? And the market says, at least we're giving you something that you can take and not leave empty-handed.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. I know, Chris, you sit it on the screen. You just go to the search bar, you search the guy, and all his bets come up across all those books. You've got the view, you eliminate all the bad ones, drill down into the good ones, and maybe put it on the card. Mobley got a over stone cold lock in chat. Ooh. Mobley over 2.5 assists. Okay, I see you.
You like that? Let's see what the tool says, but I'm just curious what you think. Or you want to wait for the tool because you don't want to say, yeah, do this. And the tool says, shut up, Rasa.
I rely on the tool. I let the market talk, man.
I don't see anything here that would indicate a positive ROI, but give it some time. It's 443 right now, so this could move.
And all that means is that the books are in agreement. It doesn't mean he can't have 4 assists tonight, and you say you're doing projections or something. This is just saying all the books basically have this around the same. So when you remove the VIG, there is no price out there that can get you to that positive ROI.
Yeah, that's a good call there, especially because we'll see people and they'll get not, I don't want to use angry or upset or frustrated, but it's like, hey, I had this play and the market says no. It's not a bad play. It's just a bad bet, if that makes sense right now, because you're not getting any break. The whole idea in using this is not to think. That's my biggest sell on this tool, is that you don't have to think. Seriously, like
it does the work for you. Yeah.
I honestly, like, we should do this, not today because it's unfair. It's an unfair strain on Chris here. But I mean, maybe we should just go to the NHL right now and see what's popping in the NHL. You know, just to take a look and see, because you and I have no fucking clue. Now we're giving out plays and stuff, but again, that's just reading the market and doing what we can from advantages we can find. But you and I aren't able to pronounce the majority of the guys' names that we're betting.
That makes it
right.
So one of the ironic things about this to me, and you may disagree, and people who sign up and who have signed up, maybe you guys disagree. It's most effective in sports where we have no biases.
Yes.
In a sport that you know really well, you see it and you're like, but he scores so much, his usage and all that stuff. And it's just like, well, the NHL, I don't know, I'm putting in bets based on the market. I'm not worried about my own thoughts. And honestly, it's been really effective. I had Sidney Crosby yesterday over 2.5 shots. It got there, and I'm looking at it right now. There's all sorts of things on here. You got Matthew Tkachuk, your boy for the Panthers, and a bunch of guys I've never heard of.
Mason McTavish. Boy, that's not a bad bet. I mean, you're beating FanDuel by 6 points, everything else by 10 points. Mason McTavish, it's got a 40% X-win. I get that because he's not a goal scorer per se, but he's going to be out there. It's not like Jared Tenorti, who's a plus 2,000 anytime goal scorer, or Andreas Athanasio, right? Is that right?
Probably not like them, no. But
okay.
I really like the shots on goal props. That's a thing that I've been tracking myself. Based off this, it's been really good.
Yeah,
it's a cool sweat. Who the hell? Yeah. Oh, F Vetrano. Maybe that guy's back on the friend of the show.
Is he? Yeah, he's a major friend of the show. First off, MC Sant, very observant here. It's just the nature of who I am. I said earlier, Ben was a man of fine cuisine, and now I'm like, don't you know about the vending machine coffee and Peter Pan?
This guy knows
peanut butter. Here's the thing. I don't, first off, this is fast food coffee. All right. So don't do me like that, MC. I didn't go vending machine coffee. I went fast food coffee.
I went out for lunch.
That's real bread and peanut butter. I'm not taking this thing out of like, one of these kids' meals that has a small compartment for peanut butter. And then we have one of our bosses here. When technically, you're all one of my bosses. I've got like everybody's a boss of me, but Nolan Kelly's like, for fuck's sake. So what else did I say? What else did I do that was wrong?
Oh, you did some things. But yeah, no, your worst assumption was thinking that that's how I roll. I did go out. I picked up some lunch and some dinner. We're going to do I don't say this too often. We're cooking food tonight in the Rasa household.
Okay. Here's what we need to do.
I don't cook.
We still have one more. Hold on a second, because we have this poll up right now. So we're going to do the informal poll of the day. The official poll is you voting on the Blazers at plus 350, the Nets money line at plus 150, the Lakers at plus 110, or the Cavs at plus 115. The Lakers have a strong lead right now. So if you want to influence that as part of the community parlay, you better jump in and vote for somebody else. With that said, we're going to hit PrizePicks and No House Advantage right now. And actually, we can head on over to PrizePicks and take a look at what the PrizePicks parlay tool tells us here, because it's just going to tell us exactly what to do. What would be, and this would be the informal poll, what would be Ben Raza's go-to method of cooking food? Like, what's your go-to apparatus? Is it the stove? Is it the microwave? Is it the oven? Is it the grill outside? Is it, a pit where you just throw a spit of meat that you roll over like that,
So not going to call her an apparatus because that's mean, but my go-to cooking device would be the lovely May. I let her cook because I can't cook on any of those devices at whatsoever. I would burn down the house if I tried to do that.
Okay, just checking.
Don't be laughing on the show. You see, she's downstairs running amok, but
because she knows that you would die without her, that you could not.
Yes, I would starve to death.
Yeah, you'd be eating orange juice and Cheerios, where you pour the orange juice into the Cheerios box and using a big plastic spoon without your wife or girlfriend, right? Fiance, whatever she is.
Yeah, one of those three.
You might as well. She's your savior, basically.
Savior, yes. Yeah, no, I'm not messing around with air. Everyone says, "Oh, you got to get an air fryer." Like, well, that sounds lovely, but
What do
I'm
you
not
care?
gonna.
You wouldn't use it anyway. It's like complaining about having to do laundry where you don't do the laundry.
Yeah, it sounds cool. Maybe we'll get one. We have a sweet wok, but we don't use it. No, I've got some nice
Okay.
king salmon ready to go after the show. We're gonna have a lovely meal, some string beans, yeah, Alaskan king salmon right in the oven.
By the way, Chris is building this this 6-leg flex play.
Yeah, he's making money over here while we're.
Picks. But this is it. Like, you can multitask when you're using this tool. There's no reason for us to break down Mike Conley under 11.5 points, because the algorithm has determined that at 55% of an X win on PrizePicks, it is a plus EV leg to add to your 6-leg flex play. And you should, on PrizePicks, you should always be playing, at least my personal opinion here would always be play 5 and 6-leg flex plays. Those are going to be your most profitable long-term. We have these matched up where you are looking at, and I heard you and Lofty talking about this yesterday, the assumed juice is about minus 118 or so on PrizePicks, give or take. But you don't need to think. We've got 2 shots on goal in there. We've got a couple of NBAs in there. You're just good to go. This is easy. It is put together ahead of time for you. And all 6 of these legs, like when we go to NHA, all of these are beating the market as well. So that's what the tool is really providing, Ben.
Oh, absolutely. And again, the beauty of this on the PrizePicks parlay builder, you've got 6 legs in there. It's giving you the best ones by X win percentage. Say you look to the right and you say, okay, I've got a couple different options that are the same or maybe slightly less. You can simply swap 1 or 2 out. And I know, Chris, you're building them right on the screen here. You've got so many different options. You can make all NBA, all NHL, just the best bets across all the sports. I mean, there's, like, as you see on PrizePicks, you're no short of options. And as we add more and more, you're going to be able to make crazy PrizePicks parlays over on OddsShopper Premium. And I like the one tonight with Nurkic leading the way.
All right, we're going to hit No House here as well. If you can hit the thumbs up button, please, that would be greatly appreciated. You're hanging with us, you're watching, you're following along. We told you about this free link, or the link that's going to give you a free week. It's below here for the OddsShopper Premium tool. Will Wolf back in the house. It's easier than they can even explain it. Look at that. See? And that's a proven winner right there.
He's typing on a brand new laptop, he said, because of the tool, which couldn't, like I said, I got to get myself a new laptop. These college basketball games have made a dent in the old one of my laptops because I've been a bad rooter, bad tilter.
Oh, that's it. I mean, we're winning you laptops, and what are we asking? That you hit the thumbs up button and that you try this tool out for a week free. That's it. It's simple stuff. Chris is building this. It's the same exact principle. The algorithm, the tool here at the OddsShopper Premium site, the tool is identifying the best plays specifically for No House. Just like on PrizePicks, it understands how PrizePicks works, so it's finding you the best PrizePicks plays. Same scenario here, No House Advantage. It's providing you the best NHA plays. Honestly, I mean, this is just you and I talking about whatever as Chris just follows the instructions. If all children's toys could be put together as easy as this, I'd never break a sweat in my house.
I wouldn't know about that, but so they say. And it's
Chris does, trust me.
Yeah, I know he does. It's a lot of the same, and it's no surprise. But you look at the NHA parlay builder, familiar faces, Mike Conley, Nurkic, so many of those lines can go across multiple platforms, and we can build the same type, and you can go for that big time, say you go for the 21X. We could go 5 for 5. I've been burning the edges over there. I have had so many so close the past couple of weeks, minus the golf where I was 0 for. I just needed to flip it completely opposite and I would have won. But you've got major options tonight. I think the Conley one, I think, is my favorite.
I agree. I think that's a fantastic one as well. 4 or 5 for me on the one that I posted on Twitter yesterday for No House. And I'm just using the tool. I'm using this tool, this specific tool here to do that. It's pretty cool, man. It's really easy. And that's really what we want, is for you all to try this thing out. And we'll remind you. I think the best thing to do is remind you at the start of the show, hey, sign up, take 90 seconds, do all that. And then you can follow along with us as we do. Anything else? Now, I know official Herc was asking as far as our top play of the night, right? Let's hit the community parlay and then whatever you love the most before we get out of here. Right now, it looks like the Lakers money line. Uh-oh. So I had a Lakers leg, but I'm going to have to adjust. That's fine. I'm here for that. Go ahead. What's your leg in the community parlay tonight?
So you know what? I talked about this, and I don't like the double dip, but sometimes it's just my favorite bet, and I'm going to stick with it. We're going to, just because we love this community, we'll give you the top OddsShopper premium bet before we go out. You know, we'll show you where the tool's at right before we duck out. But for me, I'm going to stick to college basketball in Indiana. I really believe tonight at -1.5, they are poised to really play a good game against Maryland. I already went over, I think, some of the metrics from that first one have a lot. And I know we've got the Lakers money line in there from the community. Are you going to do what Lofty did? I'm going to pose a question for you. Are you going to go to the tool and just take the top bet, or do you have something else in mind?
What do you think I'm going to do?
Probably do something crazy that I couldn't possibly expect.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm going to do this. And here's the thing. I basically have to copy this thing for Chris so that he can paste this onto what he just did. All right. I'm going to parlay Matthew Tkachuk over 3.5 shots on goal with Michael Backlund over 3.5 shots on goal for a +220 leg. Juice it up, Ben Rasa. Let's get egregious on a Friday.
Sure. It is Friday, Monday in some cultures, as you said. It doesn't even
fit on the screen. Look at that.
No, it destroyed Indiana. It's taken over.
Look, this is a historic week. What is it, Wednesday or earlier in the week? I broke Lindquist Wi-Fi by mentioning Martin Laird, who is just completely shot.
And then I had to run on the show.
Yes, I know.
I've been doing the show every day, apparently. It's been a blast. I didn't even give. I almost got crazy dangerous. There's some good lacrosse in the next couple of days.
Well, make sure that you let me know, please. So
I will. I got a lot of lacrosse bets tomorrow.
All right. As Chris brings up the top play on the OddsShopper Premium tool, do you have anything else besides Indiana? Or if I ask you what your favorite play of the night is, are you going to give me Indiana again?
I'm going to give you Indiana again, but we just had a question from Big in chat. Vandy versus Kentucky. Interesting game. Fascinating game. Vanderbilt is playing out of their minds. They went into Rupp and won a game not that long ago. They looked good against LSU last night. I lean with the points. The tool right now does not have anything on that game. It says that the line is pretty accurate. Gut feel, give me the points with Vandy, but that is a tough game. I can't wait to see it, but I don't think it's the best betting game on the board.
Yeah, but you know what?
What?
The tool did have something on this game. In fact, at 7:54 in the morning, the tool had this at 146. And I put it out there on the Discord for people to bet under 146. And it's now at 144, 144.5, depending on where you look.
That's the closing line value you want. You did your job. Now
that's all
I wish I got on that. I missed it.
Well, you should be following. It was on the daily picks.
I'm sorry. I was filming videos. I had to return some videotapes.
Look, my favorite play tonight is going to be the Miami Heat. Tough to beat a team like that in a row a couple times. I think Cleveland had a lot of momentum, a lot of energy, a lot of juice in that first win. This is Miami's game at home. If you can still get them at even money, that is the bet. So that would be mine, official, and others out there looking for one. So we got it.
And let's hit, if you want, because
we've got a couple of minutes. Yeah. What do you need?
Yeah. Official Hectic was asking about some of the best bets. Right now, I'm just going to do a quick refresh on the screen to get the latest.
Boy, Gobert is popping.
Rudy Gobert.
Yep.
Over 27.5 points, rebounds, assists at -105 on DraftKings. On DraftKings is actually where the value is coming in. Interesting.
Yep. And look, we've seen that. Sometimes DraftKings is slow. Sometimes they may just have a bad line, whatever the case is, right? You see that just because they could be a market maker doesn't mean that they are removed from making mistakes.
No, again, it's a very fluid market, and that's one where a lot of other books have that in the -120 range. So if you can find -105, on Rudy Gobert, over 27.5 points, rebounds, assists. You can find -105 at DraftKings and BetMGM. 2 spots worth buying, and that would be towards the top of the card. Yes.
Awesome, my friend. All right, big plans. I know you have tonight. Dinner.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat some food.
Yeah,
Watch some college basketball.
UConn in the house.
That's going to be a tough game.
That's going to be a good one. I've done my job in college, so I leave this over to you and Gajeski. I did my job today. The boost god has spoken for Ben Rasa.
And for the boost god
on his face to see that. At Jazz Raz DFS, that Shander show for me. Thanks to Chris Karen for producing. Thanks to you out there. And yeah, look at this. I mean, it's Will. It's so many others who have said this. Zach Morris. So many others who have used this tool to win. Just sign up. You're going to get a week free. And you can come back. We'll be back here Monday through Friday, 4 o'clock Eastern. So you have questions about the tool. You want to see us use the tool as you follow along. That's why we're here. Have a great night, great weekend. We'll see you.